There are places I wish I had never seen, places that still find their way into my dreams, no matter how hard I try to forget them. For a long time, I convinced myself that what happened that night couldn't possibly be real. Maybe I was exhausted. Maybe the storm was playing tricks on my mind. Maybe there was a logical explanation for everything. But deep down, I know the truth. And if you're ever driving alone late at night, if your GPS suddenly tells you to take a road that isn't on any map, please don't make the same mistake I did. It all started on a cold October night. I had been driving for almost 7 hours trying to reach the next town before midnight. The rain had been falling since sunset, and every mile seemed darker than the one before it. My windshield wipers struggled to keep up as sheets of rain slammed against the glass, making it almost impossible to see the road ahead. My friend Noah sat behind me, half asleep, occasionally waking up just long enough to complain. "We should have stopped an hour ago," he mumbled. "We're almost there," I replied, keeping both hands firmly on the steering wheel. "We'll find a motel if the weather gets any worse." Beside me, Mia rested her camera on her lap and stared out the passenger window. "I haven't seen another car in 20 minutes, she said quietly. I hadn't either. No headlights, no trucks, no signs of life. Just an endless highway disappearing into darkness. Then, without warning, the GPS spoke. "In 300 meters, turn right." I frowned. "Turn right where?" There wasn't another road for miles. Noah leaned forward from the back seat. "I think your GPS is losing its mind." I was about to laugh. Then lightning split the sky. For a single second, the forest lit up, and there it was, a narrow road cutting between the trees. It looked old, almost forgotten. Cracked asphalt, overgrown weeds, no street sign, no guardrails. If the lightning hadn't flashed at that exact moment, I never would have seen it. Darkness swallowed it again. "Did you see that?" Mia whispered. No one answered, because we all had. I reached for my phone. No signal. Mia checked hers. Nothing. Noah looked at his. Still nothing. 3 phones, 3 different networks, not one bar of service. Before I could think, the GPS spoke again. But this time, its voice had changed. It sounded slower, almost human. "Turn right." A chill ran through my entire body. For some reason, that voice didn't sound like a machine anymore. It sounded like someone sitting inside the car with us. "I don't like this," Noah said. Neither did I. Every instinct told me to keep driving, to ignore the GPS, to stay on the highway. But something about that road, something I still can't explain, made me turn the steering wheel. The moment my tires left the highway, everything changed. The rain stopped. The wind disappeared. Even the sound of the engine seemed to fade away. It was as if I had crossed an invisible line into a place where the rest of the world no longer existed. No one spoke. No one even breathed. About 5 minutes later, a faint red glow appeared through the trees. As we got closer, I could finally make out the sign. One word still flickered in dying neon lights. Motel. The rest of the letters had burned out long ago. The building looked abandoned. Rotting wooden walls, broken windows, a porch light that blinked every few seconds. Yet somehow, the parking lot looked perfectly clean. Not a single fallen leaf, not a puddle, not even mud from the storm we'd just driven through. I slowly pulled into the parking lot and switched off the engine. Something didn't feel right, just to be sure. I turned the key again. Nothing, not even a click. I tried again. Silence. Noah looked at me. "Tell me you're joking." I wished I was. We stepped out of the car. The air felt strangely warm. There was no rain, no wind, only a silence so complete I could hear my own heartbeat. Then, the front door of the motel slowly creaked open. An elderly man stepped outside. He smiled. Not the kind of smile that welcomes tired travelers, the kind that makes you wonder if you should have stayed in the car. He looked directly at me, as though he'd known I was coming. Then, in a calm voice that sent a shiver down my spine, he said, "You're later than usual." I stared at him. I'd never seen this place before in my life. So how could he possibly know me?